Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out. Today we are going to be talking about the Mixolydian mode. The Mixolydian mode is the fifth mode of the major scale. So in our first lesson we discussed the major scale. This is also known as the Ionian mode. In the second video we discussed the Dorian mode. The Dorian mode is the second mode of the major scale. So if you were to take a C major scale and play that scale starting and ending on the second scale degree of D, that would be the Dorian mode. Today we're going to be playing the Mixolydian mode. The Mixolydian mode starts and ends on the fifth scale degree. So in C, that would be G. That's what it sounds like. So in solfege terms, a major scale is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. The Dorian mode is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Te, Do. And the Mixolydian mode is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Te, Do. So it has a flat 7 in it. The seventh scale degree is dropped by 1/2 step. So you can imagine that with any of the fingerings that we're going to be discussing, really the only thing that's going to change is that 7th scale degree. It's going to be dropped by 1/2 step. The Mixolydian mode is interesting because it is the mode of the 5th scale degree. The 5th scale degree, well, we'll skip that. So, fingerings for the Mixolydian scale. Again, very similar to Ionian or major scale, but slight differentiation. So we're going to start on C. I'm going to move these through the circle of fifths, as I did with the other videos. All right, Mixolydian mode. So I'm going to move these through the circle of fifths, as I've done with the other scales. We'll start with the first finger position, then we'll move to the second finger position, and then the fourth finger position. There are some considerations to be made for open strings, just as there were with the other scales, and I'll address those when I get to them. So without further ado, here we go. Mixolydian scale. First finger pattern. 1. So we're starting on C, which is the 3rd fret of the A string. Remember, this is a 5-string bass, not a 4-string bass. I left my 4-string bass at the studio, so I'm using this one for today. I hope it's not too confusing. If it is, I will redo these videos in a 4-string bass, but basically ignore that low string. You can see if I pull that back, it looks similar to your bass. There's E, A, D, G right there. It's a low B string. We're just going to ignore it. So, 3rd fret of the A string, that's C. That's where we're going to start. So, first finger on C. Second finger a whole step away. Oh, one more thing I should explain. The major scale, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. For this scale, it's whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. Dorian mode, just for sake of discussion, is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step. I'm sorry. Mixolydian mode is built whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. For comparison, the Ionian mode is whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So that half step's right at the end. Here we go. First finger on C, 3rd fret of the A string. Second finger on D, 5th fret of the A string. fourth finger on E, 7th fret of the A string. F, it's the 4th scale degree, and so we know from the previous videos that the 4th scale degree is going to be on the same fret as the fret we started on, 1 string up. So there's F, first finger, G, second finger, a whole step away, A, 4th finger, and then B flat, first finger, C with 4th finger. You could also play that with your 3rd finger if you'd like. So I'll play that through in all 12 keys. G flat, F sharp. B. E, open string, so open, 1, 4, open, 1, 4, open, 1, 1, open, 4, 1, open, 4, 1, open. Same thing with the A string, same pattern here. Have it. So for the second finger pattern, it's going to be 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, just like the Ionian. And then when we get to the last 3 notes, it's going to be 1, 2, 4 again instead of 1, 3, 4. So all 12 keys, that looks like this. Starting on C. Great, and then the last fingering would be starting on the 4th finger. So for that, again, we're going to start on the 8th fret on the E string for our C with our 4th finger. So we have C, 1st finger on D on the A string, 3rd finger on E on the A string, 4th finger on F on the A string, 1st finger on G of the D string, 3rd finger on A of the D string, 4th finger on B flat on the D string, and then 1st finger on C. So we're crossing all 4 strings as we play that scale when we start on the E string. When we start on the D string, or I'm sorry, on the A string, we're going to have to shift, okay? So that shift is going to happen at the 7th. We're going to shift from our pinky here to our 1st finger. Okay, so starting from C. This is 4, 1, 3, 4, shift, 1, 3, 4, 1. And then F, just remember to make that shift after the 6th scale degree right there. And B flat. There you have it. Those are the 3 basic fingerings. There you can see my whole head now. 3 basic fingerings of the Mixolydian Mixolydian scale. We're going to, in the next lesson most likely, we're going to take the 3 scales that we've learned and we're going to play them over 2-5-1 chord changes. 2-5-1 is a very, very common chord change passage that's used in jazz music, popular music, some classical music, etc. It's a very common way to move through harmony. And so when we practice these 3 scales, once you get each one of them under your fingers here, we're going to be able to move them around the circle. I will post a video about the circle of fifths very, very shortly. And then maybe you'll have a better understanding about what I'm doing. Please take your time with these scales. Don't rush through any of this. I know it can be, I'm sort of moving quickly through them. I'm just trying to demonstrate the fingerings for you. I expect that you'll be practicing on your own time at your own pace. I highly recommend setting a metronome to 40 beats per minute, as slow as it'll go, and giving each note a full quarter note, okay? So if you could imagine 40 beats per minute being somewhere in that neck of the woods, okay? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So very, very slow. That's going to help you be accurate with these scales. It'll help you learn these patterns, and it'll help you as you're sort of moving through the instrument, moving around the instrument. I apologize if this was a little confusing on a 5-string bass. I will be picking up the Fender and will be teaching with the Fender so that you're not confused by the 5-string. However, I do have to admit it is awfully nice playing this this instrument. It's a very, very, very lovely piece of work. That's about it. I hope this was helpful for you. Please leave any comments or questions below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I'm still trying to figure out, you know, how best to record these. I do like the idea of having multiple camera shots, like I had in the first videos. I don't have those cameras on me. Again, I left them at the studio. It's the holidays. I haven't been able to get back there. But I'll pick those up, and hopefully that will provide a better experience for you. The doorbell just rang, so I'm going to go check on that. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll talk to you in a bit.